Oh my gosh, that test tube, it's so big. How much blood do you need? We need a lot of blood when it comes to drawing cultures. So blood cultures are ordered by physicians when they need to rule out and rule in bacteria or septicemia. Bacteria presents in the bloodstream, and septicemia are toxins that we retest. Some sources of septicemia, circulatory, can be within the bloodstream that is intravascular, that has to do with your heart. So with your heart pumping, and sources of the extravascular are like UTIs, respiratory infections, open wounds on the body, and also some abscesses. They can all start as localized infections, which can spread into the bloodstream and become systemic. So when they draw a set of blood cultures, it needs to be 2 sets. So it needs to be a blue top and a red top, and then another blue top and then another red top. These sets need to be at least 30 minutes apart, and they are not to be drawn at the same site. So you can draw one right here on your hand, and then you are to draw the other like on your AC or on your left hand. They are never to be on the same location because the bacteria can be the same. So how you draw blood cultures is you wash your hands for about 20 seconds, and then you put on your gloves. After that, you need to clean the top of the culture with an alcohol swab at least for 10 seconds. You need to do that on both tubes, so the red tube and the blue tube. After you have done that, you can then place the tourniquet onto the patient. This helps elevate their veins so you can get a better view of where you're gonna puncture. After that, you need to clean it with a ChloraPrep. With the ChloraPrep, you want to do it maybe like 10 seconds. It's usually colored, so it leaves the patient's arm colored orange. And then after that, you puncture the wound site, and then you draw 10 cc's in the blue tube, and then you need 10 cc's in the red tube. But you need to make sure that you get 10 cc's, because if not, then you can possibly get false positives, or in that case false negative, and you don't want that, because then if you get false negatives and the patient is positive, then we're gonna have a problem, because then they can go into organ failure. After that, you need to label it, where you drew the blood, from which site, the time, the date, and your initials, and then you send it off to lab. And then there's aerobic, which is a blue tube, and then anaerobic, which is the red tube. After you send your first set, you need to come back then again and draw your second set of cultures. The reason why you do 2 sets is because possibly the first set can be presumptive as contaminated or things like that. So you want to make sure that you do the 2 sets. It's not an option at all. But that is how you draw blood cultures and why they're important. Thanks.